Hello everybody on YouTube, this is Super Nintendo, and I thought I would make a response to a comment that I had on one of my Why My Hero Academia is better than Dragon Ball Super videos and explain a little bit. So without further ado, let's get into this. I'm not gonna say the person's name out of, privacy, but here's where I disagree with this part. The first part with the ending of Z negating Super or vice versa in the timeline. I never said that Super was negated by the ending of Z. What I said was Super leads into Dragon Ball Z. But if Dragon Ball Super contradicts, if it changes, if its ending technically changes the ending of Z, there's no way it can actually take place in that timeline. It's already if it changes previous events or something, whatever, retcon, but the ending, you can't fucking that's like let's say the Harry Potter movies. If you haven't seen the movies, Harry Potter ends up with Ron's sister and has a kid. And let's say they make a sequence of movies that take place within that time skip. And at the end of those movies, Harry winds up with Hermione and has a kid there, completely rewriting the ending of the original movies. Those movies that are supposed to take place within that time skip are then should be treated as another timeline or whatever because they contradict the ending. It's like my little analogy before with Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. There's no way it can possibly fucking connect. The whole point of an in-between series is to show what we missed. But if it contradicts what we have already seen, it can't connect. So let's go on. After Kid Buu was killed, the series pretty much ended, but they wanted to wrap it up with Goku going away to train Buu to kind of wrap it up. The sequence after Z was just that, a quick wrap up for the audience. It doesn't really matter that much. Again, the ending of a series does matter. I don't understand the logic here. That's like trying to say the ending of Dragon Ball where Goku goes away with Chi-Chi doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It only really matters because of fucking where Dragon Ball Z started and whatnot. It doesn't matter. So if it doesn't matter that much, then why do people get so pissed off with why do people get so pissed off with Full Metal Alchemist 2003 for pretty much rewriting the ending of the manga? Not rewriting it because it wasn't written yet, but why do people get so pissed off at this version when the manga has a different version? It's like, oh, it's non-canon, it doesn't matter, you don't need to watch it. The ending of a series does matter. Alright, they never planned on continuing the Dragon Ball series. That part is true. I have no problem with them starting a new series right after the Oob saga, but I also have a problem with them saying the series really ended with Boo. The ending was just kind of a wrap-up. They never really did plan on continuing the series. I will admit that, but that doesn't. Why exactly does that mean that the ending that we see with Goku fighting Oob and then going off is why is that not matter anymore? I mean, Toriyama made a manga at one point that had an alternative ending that we got to see where Oob was riding on the flying Nimbus, which is odd because he gave it to Gohan and then Gohan gave that to Goten, but whatever. Details. But it's treated as just that, an alternate ending. So if Dragon Ball Super directly contradicts the ending of the series, the movies contradict the series too. Like the movies contradict the series, and we have no problem with saying, oh, those are just alternative universes according to Toriyama, or they're non-canon. So why exactly are we uncomfortable with calling Super an alternative universe or whatever? Because it can't possibly connect. You know, they did say it may not line up perfectly, so there might be some things like maybe Goten or Trunks are still fucking kids, but... Or maybe this is them admitting that Bola and Pan are not going to be the correct ages, because that was one other retcon plot hole thing that bugged the hell out of me for a long time, is that Dragon Ball Super has no fucking sense of time. And like I remember they said that with the Dragon Balls, if you don't use up all the wishes or something, you can use them again in like a month, or maybe it was 3 months or something. But they have summoned the dragon a fuck ton of times. But I'm not gonna go too deep into this complaint because I want to save that for another video. But they have fucked up the timeline way too much for it to even fit as it currently stands. So I mean, like, Goten and Trunks, they should be much older by now. And I get the reason why they want to have kid characters to get the younger demographic, but you know, Pan by this point should be at least 3, and on top of that they have Marin, who should logically have some special abilities considering her mother is a fucking cyborg. Or android, or whatever you want to call her. So yeah, I don't get it. So yeah, and on top of that, if you're watching the series in order, if you're watching the series in order, you're gonna, like, once the death of Boo starts or ends, you stop season 9 and go watch Dragon Ball Super, and then once that ends, you watch the last few episodes of this. And it contradicts itself. If you're watching the series in order, you can't rewrite this shit. honestly, that's, maybe Toriyama will just come out and say, oh, the ending of Z, pfft, that never fucking happened. That's just gonna be, it's just gonna be Dragon Ball Super. No, they have never treated the ending of Z as though it never fucking mattered. So if you see it that way, that it doesn't matter, that's fine, but keep in mind, you kind of have to treat that for every series. You can't just, there's no case-by-case basis with this. You treat the ending of any series as though it doesn't matter, just because they have no plans to continue it. That's what a fucking ending is. It's a way, it's like you said, it's a way to wrap it up. But if you're ending it, there's no way to continue it. And Dragon Ball Super, I wouldn't even say is really continuing anything. It's just showing us shit we never saw within that time gap. You kind of have to show us something further in the timeline to continue anything. It's a midquel. It's not even a prequel. It's a midquel. So I rambled on a lot longer than I thought I was going to, but hopefully this puts in perspective why I was talking like that in whatever video I was talking about this in. Honestly, I just woke up almost 12 minutes ago, so I'm having a bit of a brain fart. So, as always, if it's your birthday when watching this video, happy freaking birthday to you, and always remember to stay beautiful. I stole that idea from Categories, because it doesn't matter.